Welcome to the Facilitators Deep Dive Podcast, your podcast on your way to facilitation mastery.
All right, so today we're diving into something pretty cool. It's called Improv Prototyping.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and basically we're going to try and figure out how to use improv, like actual improv, to help solve all those really tricky problems, but in a fun way.
I like fun.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Right.
And we're using this really interesting page from Liberating Structures as our guide for this.
Okay, cool.
It's all about this technique, improv prototyping.
Interesting. So most of us, we kind of get stuck, when we're trying to solve problems. We just keep using the same old methods, the same old, boring meetings.
Oh, yeah.
But improv prototyping, it just throws all of that out the window and says, hey, let's play.
I love that.
Right.
And it's so true. The source we're using, they start off with this quote, and it sets the whole tone. It's from this guy, James Carson. He says, "To be playful is not to be trivial or frivolous. When we are playful with one another, we relate as free persons, and the relationship is open to surprise."
I like that.
Right.
It really makes you think, we always think that to be serious means to be productive.
Right. Exactly.
But what if being playful, what if that was the key to reaching our full potential?
Okay. I'm into it.
Yeah.
So let's dig into this idea of being playful.
Okay.
The source talks about improv prototyping using 3 different levels of knowledge.
Okay.
First, there's this thing called explicit knowledge.
So that's all the things that we already know.
Gotcha.
Stuff we could easily explain to other people.
Okay.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. Right.
It's there, but
yeah,
there's more.
There's so much more.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's tacit knowledge.
Yes.
What is that all about?
So tacit knowledge, that's the stuff that we learn from experience through actually doing things.
Oh.
It's harder to put into words,
right?
But it's often the most valuable knowledge.
Oh, interesting.
To have.
So how to ride a bike.
Exactly.
But explaining it.
Yes.
Way harder.
Much harder to explain it than just get on and do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then there's the super cool stuff. The latent knowledge.
What's that?
So this is the hidden stuff.
Okay.
That's just below the surface, waiting for us to discover it.
Oh, okay. So how does improv prototyping help us find that hidden knowledge?
Well, when we create a space to experiment,
right,
and really play, then we start to see things from all these new angles.
Oh, cool.
And we start to make connections that we wouldn't have been able to see before.
Yeah.
And that's where the breakthroughs happen.
That's so cool.
It is cool, right?
Yeah.
It's improv is giving us permission to think outside the box, to try things we've always wanted to.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
We're just playing.
Exactly.
And, the source actually breaks down this whole process into 5 main parts.
Right.
They call them min specs.
Min specs.
The minimum specs to get this going.
Okay.
So the first one is called the structuring invitation.
The structuring invitation. So this is where we set the stage, right?
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yes.
We invite people to play.
Yeah.
But we also make sure that everyone understands, the problem.
Right. The challenge that we're all trying to tackle together.
Exactly.
We're setting the context for the improv, getting everyone on the same page.
Okay.
All right. Then we have space and materials.
Okay. So this is where we need, a full-blown theater production.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not quite. We don't need all that.
Okay.
It's more about just creating a space where people feel comfy.
Right.
Where they can move around.
Yeah, okay.
And interact,
Okay.
and profit can be helpful.
Okay.
But they're not, essential.
Right.
It's really all about the people and their ideas,
It's about that playfulness.
Yes. It's
more than the, theatrics.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about this participation distribution?
Participation distribution, yeah.
Does everyone need to be a professional actor to do this?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Actually, one of the best things about improv prototyping is that everyone can participate. It doesn't matter what your experience level is.
Oh, awesome.
The source suggests that we have, a mix of actors and observers.
Okay, so even if you're not on stage, you're still part of it.
Yes, exactly. They're watching, they're analyzing, they're taking notes.
Okay.
And then they'll get their chance to jump in later on.
I like that everybody gets to share their ideas.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, next we have group configuration.
Group configuration, yes.
What's that?
So this is all about how everyone is arranged.
Okay.
You'll have a small group of like the players on stage.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is observing
Right.
in their own little groups.
Okay, so it's like a play.
It is. It's like a play within a play.
Right.
With all these like layers of interaction.
That's so cool.
Happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And then finally we have sequence and time.
Okay, so this is where we like lay out the plan.
Yes, the step-by-step for the improv session.
Gotcha. So it's like the roadmap to guide us through.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's an iterative process, meaning we're going to go through multiple rounds of acting, observing, debriefing, refining.
Okay.
Each round builds upon the previous one, leading to those deeper insights and more innovative solutions.
So it's like constantly evolving.
Yes, exactly. It's very dynamic.
Okay, so the source also digs into like what they call the WHY purposes of improv prototyping.
Okay.
Which is just like all the awesome benefits of using this technique.
Yeah. And there's a lot. One of the biggest benefits is that it breaks down these big complex problems into smaller,
manageable.
Yes, more manageable pieces.
Okay, that makes sense.
So instead of getting overwhelmed by this like huge challenge, you can just like tackle it one step at a time.
That's good.
And by engaging everyone's imagination, you're more likely to come up with like really innovative solutions.
You know, I am really intrigued by this idea of improv prototyping being a different way to do training.
Oh, yeah.
You know, instead of just those boring lectures, you're actually like experiencing how to solve problems.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not just sitting there in a classroom.
Exactly.
You're actually doing it.
It's active.
It's not passive.
It's active learning at its best.
I like it's not just about, you know, learning new stuff.
Yeah.
It's about like changing how we think and how we behave.
Oh, okay.
It helps us break free from all those like old patterns that are holding us back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like rewiring our brains to be more creative.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. I like it.
So think about all those like recurring problems we have.
Right.
Communication breakdowns, feeling stuck.
Yeah.
Needing fresh ideas. Like improv prototyping, it gives us this framework to approach these challenges, but in a way that's fun and productive.
I'm ready to see how this like works in real life.
Yeah.
The source gives all these examples of how people are using this. Okay. And one that really stood out to me was how some hospitals are actually replacing their like training courses with this technique.
That's amazing.
I know. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Instead of like sitting through a boring lecture, they're acting out scenarios. It makes it so much more engaging and effective than just, traditional learning.
It's like they get to like practice for those high pressure situations before they actually happen.
Yes.
Which I bet makes a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In their confidence and their ability to handle whatever comes their way.
Right. And it's not just like the individual benefit, right? Like when teams do this together, they build that understanding.
Exactly.
That trust.
Yes, that shared understanding, which is so important for collaboration.
Right, exactly.
When you're working together.
You know, I was also interested in that example of like sales reps.
Oh, yes.
Using.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Because sales is all about like building relationships.
Right.
And adapting to like different personalities.
Exactly. So how would they use this?
Well, imagine having a safe space. To practice those like tough conversations.
Right.
To try out different approaches.
Yeah.
Get feedback from your peers.
Right.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Ooh, I like that.
To build your confidence and improve your skills.
Yeah, and it's not just for sales, though.
No, not at all.
The source also talks about how managers are using it to be better communicators.
Oh, yeah. We've all had those like awkward conversations with our bosses.
Yes, totally.
And so this gives managers a chance to practice. Things like delivering feedback, delegating tasks.
Right.
Even navigating conflict.
That's huge.
In a way that just feels more natural and effective.
Yeah, and like more comfortable for everybody involved.
Exactly. It creates a much more positive work environment.
I bet.
For everyone.
It goes beyond the workplace, too.
Yes, it does.
They talk about healthcare providers using it.
Oh, yeah.
For those really sensitive conversations.
Right, like end-of-life conversations.
Yeah, those are so hard.
Yes, they are.
But improv can help with that.
Well, it gives them that safe space to explore different approaches.
Right.
And develop those, those communication skills.
Yeah. I can see how that would be super helpful.
And let's not forget about teachers.
Oh, yeah, teachers.
They're using it.
For what?
To figure out how to respond to, like, disruptive behavior.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, because teachers...
They have to think on their feet all the time.
They do. They're constantly facing these unexpected situations.
Totally.
And it's like, how do you react in the moment?
Right.
So improv gives them a chance to kind of...
Practice?
Yes. Rehearse those situations.
Okay.
And find strategies that work for them and their students.
Like giving them the tools.
Exactly.
To handle anything.
To become more confident and creative in their approach.
And that example of training nurses.
Yes.
To advocate for safety protocols.
Oh, that's so important.
I know, especially in a hospital.
Yes, that high-pressure environment.
Yeah, where it can be intimidating to speak up.
Especially if you're, you know, maybe a younger nurse new to the job.
Yeah, exactly.
So giving them that chance to practice those conversations builds their confidence, helps them find their voice. It gives them the tools they need to advocate for themselves.
And their patience.
Yes, and their patience.
It's amazing to me that, like, this one technique...
I know, it's incredible.
...can be used for so many different things.
It really is.
We've talked about healthcare, education, sales, management.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
The possibilities are endless.
Like, I'm starting to think that improv isn't just for actors.
Exactly.
And it's for everyone.
It is.
It's a powerful tool that anyone can use to, you know, unlock their creativity, improve communication, solve problems.
And have fun doing it.
In a way that's fun.
Yes.
Okay, so now the question is...
The big question.
How can you, the listener...
You listening right now...
start using this...
to create positive change.
In your work and life. So... We've talked about what improv prototyping is and why it's so cool.
We have.
We've seen how it can, like, change things in hospitals and classrooms and all sorts of places.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
But how do we actually, like, use this in our own lives?
Well, I think the first step is just picking a challenge you want to work on.
Okay, so
don't overthink it.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Anything at all.
Yeah, like a problem at work. Maybe you're not communicating well with someone.
Right.
Or even something personal.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know, finally cleaning out that closet you've been avoiding.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
So this works for work, life, everything.
Yeah, it's not just for big companies or teams.
Gotcha.
Anyone can use this.
Cool.
If you've got a challenge and you want to try something new, this could be it.
Okay, so let's say I've got my challenge.
Okay.
Do I need to, like, find a group of people and a stage?
You can. You totally can.
Yeah.
And doing it with other people can be really powerful.
Okay.
But you can also start by yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just think of it as mental rehearsal.
Okay.
Like, imagine yourself in a situation that's related to your challenge.
Okay, so, like, if I'm always running late, I could picture myself trying to, like, get out the door in the morning.
Exactly.
With all the chaos.
All the craziness.
Okay.
And then just start playing out different scenarios in your head.
Okay.
Like, what happens if you lay out your clothes the night before? What if you pack your bag? What if you set, like, 2 alarms?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
10 minutes apart.
I like it. It's like a test drive.
It is. It's a mental test drive.
Yeah.
Before you actually have to do it.
That takes the pressure off. Right. But, you know, it's probably more helpful to do it with other people.
It can be, yeah.
So how do we do that?
Well, the most important thing is making sure everyone feels comfortable to share their ideas, even if they seem silly.
Right.
So start by explaining the challenge and the rules.
Okay.
You know, you don't need any improv experience.
Okay.
Just come ready to play.
All right, what's next?
Then brainstorm different scenarios and roles that are connected to your challenge.
Gotcha.
So if you're trying to, like, improve communication, you might have roles for team members, a manager, even a difficult client.
Oh, okay. Like, really specific to the situation.
Exactly.
Okay, but what if people are, like, nervous to jump in?
That's totally normal.
Yeah.
Just start with some fun warm-up games.
Oh, good idea.
You can find tons of them online.
How do I...
Keep it light.
Right.
Remind everyone it's about having fun.
Yeah.
And exploring new ideas.
It's like we're tricking ourselves into problem solving.
We are.
By having fun.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're warmed up, we're in character, now what?
All right. Now, encourage everyone to really commit to their roles. Let their imaginations go wild.
No holding back.
The more you commit,
the
more likely you are to have those, like, aha moments.
Oh, I like that.
And remember, there are no wrong answers.
Okay, good.
Every idea even the mistakes,
yeah,
are chances to learn.
to grow.
Exactly.
It's all about giving ourselves permission to experiment.
Yes, and see where it takes us.
I like that.
No judgment.
Yeah.
Just exploring.
Okay, so as we're watching these scenes,
Yes.
what should we be, like, paying attention to?
Pay attention to those new ideas that are coming up.
Okay.
The solutions people are creating.
Right.
Look, unexpected connections.
Okay.
Those are the good stuff.
Those are the golden nuggets.
Yes.
This has been such a cool deep dive.
It is.
Improv prototyping, it's not just like a fun team building thing.
It's so much more.
It's a real tool for like personal growth, problem solving.
And it's for everyone.
Yeah, anyone can do this.
So next time you're stuck, try channeling your inner improviser. Embrace the unknown, have fun, and see what you discover.
Who knows, maybe a little improv magic is all we need.
I think so.
To unlock our potential.
See you next time on the Facilitators Deep Dive Podcast, your podcast on your way to facilitation mastery. Until next time.
See you then.